Hello, welcome back to EQ Markets Global YouTube channel. This is 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗥𝗘, head market analyst for EQ Markets Global. And you know how we do it on every weekly market outlook where we share deep market insights and as well all the news that is going to be affecting the market for the week. And this week, 14th of May, which is yesterday being Sunday till 19th, which is on Friday, we're going to consider the economic happenings and so much more. Don't leave here, guys, but I've got 6 amazing assets that will fetch you real money this week. I'm very serious. 6 amazing assets. I'm going to tell you where they're going to be going, all right? And they're going to be making you so much money. If you doubt, you can go back and watch last week's weekly market outlook and see for yourself that all the pairs, as I analyzed them, 90% of them, all right, happened just exactly how it was analyzed, and it's really beautiful to see that. This week, we're hopefully going to be doing the same, and I have specially crafted 6 amazing assets for you. All right. But first, let's quickly go into the economic happening for this week. So there is really no very strong news that is going to be affecting the market this week. Although there are a handful of high impact economic news that we will be expecting. All right, like by 1:30 p.m. today, being Monday, we'll be expecting the Empire State Manufacturing Index. You can make a little research and read up about it. All right, simply toggle on this icon, right, so you can also know what the news is all about and also what it entails, right? And more so, of course, we're going to be having the Claimant count charge from the Great Britain. But that would be on Tuesday, 7 a.m., right? And then, of course, some CPI data is coming out from Canada by 1:30 p.m. And as well, the same 1:30 p.m., we are going to be having retail sales month on month and core retail sales month on month for the United States dollar. All right, read up about all of these news, right? um, um, there are actually some very basic things that if you read up about them, you quickly know much about them. Then on Wednesday, we're expecting, of course, wage price index and all for the Australian dollar, and also the governor of the Bank of England will be giving a speech, right? That will be by 10:50 a.m. Nigerian time. And then on Thursday, of course, significantly take note of these bank holidays happening in Switzerland and also across Europe. All right. Of course, across Europe, we'll be having the French bank, they'll be experiencing French bank holiday. Okay. So most of the banks in France will be going on holiday, and also Germany will be experiencing bank holiday as well, the same Thursday. All right. Take note of that. Then lastly, on Friday, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, will be giving a speech by 4 p.m. Nigerian time. So nothing really so much to also look at. Okay, oh, I forgot to mention, pardon me, right? I forgot to mention, also look out for these unemployment claims reports that will be coming out by 1:30 p.m. on Thursday, right? It's also a very important, it's also another important one to look out for, and that will be happening by Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time. So let's quickly delve into the dollar. What's happening with the dollar, guys? For more than a month, I've been telling you that the rise of the dollar was brewing. And I know a lot of you really did not believe me, right? Because the dollar has been ranging on this particular established support zone for quite some time, for about a month and 1 week, right? Or about a month, right? And I kept telling you that watch out for the W shape pattern, right? Watch out for the W shape pattern. Watch out for the W shape pattern. And of course, what did we see last week? We saw a very sporadic movement on the dollar, right? A very huge bullish movement, breaking all of the minor resistance that were already existing on that support zone. This is a weekly time frame, so you wouldn't really notice those minor resistance, right? But they exist if you view them on the 4-hourly chart, right? So will the dollar continue to rise? Of course, I am very hopeful, but maybe not to the same level where it ever got to before, right? So maybe not to this level at around 114, right? But I am pretty very sure that this week as well, we're going to see a rising dollar, at least to this level here, right? At least to this level, this former level here, right? It might quickly go, we test that zone and then continue to sell below. Hopefully, this level will be broken. Until then, I can't be so sure and I can't tell you. But of course, we've seen a breakout from all of the minor resistance. What is left for dollar to do is to continue to move higher, right? So if you look at it on the daily time frame, this is what we can see on the daily time frame. You can now see and appreciate the W shape pattern, which is like the double bottom, right? Of course, coming out. So we are going to be trading the dollar with respect to the fact that the dollar is going to be getting stronger. Don't leave yet, guys. I want to quickly show you those 6 assets that will fetch you this money this week, right? But before we go into that, if you're new to this YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel, right? And then toggle on the notification bell and put it at all so that you get notified every single time we put up educative and informative content just like this one, and many, 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 many more that are yet to come, right? Already there are a whole lot of educative contents and materials on this YouTube channel. You can look for them, but there are still many more that are coming soon, right? So do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also do well to follow us on all of our social media handles, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on and as well on Telegram, right? Just look for EQ Markets Global. Don't forget the name. It is EQ Markets Global. Just like it is spelled that you can see on this slide, that's exactly how you're going to be looking for it. Now let's quickly jump into those 6 assets I promised to show you, right? So this is what I'm expecting for Euro USD. Guys, don't be deceived. Euro USD is going on a buy. Forget this short-term sell-off, right? The overall direction of Euro USD is buy. Let me quickly show you why I'm saying that. It is only responding to this psychological level, right? If you watch this area, it's a psychological level, right? So yeah, it was support, yes, support, and then it broke through, became resistance. So it kept playing around this zone, right? So I map out that zone. That zone is 1.10637, 1.11526. And in the last week's market outlook, I told you that I expect Euro USD to respect that zone, right? So even if it had consolidated on that zone for like 3 weeks, I expected it to respect that zone and sell off, all right? Now, I already know why I was expecting a sell-off, right? Why? I will show you. I was expecting that sell-off, right? Because, let me quickly show you, sorry. I was expecting that sell-off because, of course, this counter trend line saw that this main trend line was broken, right? Watch this main trend line, right? This is on the weekly time frame. I'll scale down to the daily time frame and H4 probably and show you 9 setups and 9th entry, right? So this was the main trend line, right? At least for the interim, right? And then we have this first touch, we have the second touch. The third touch was supposed to play out here, but it was broken. It came back, retested that same area again before bouncing off. But this was a counter trend line, right? It touched here and bounced off and touched again. So this was the beginning point. If you want to know why this place I have another trend line, I'll show you on the higher time frame, right? On the monthly time frame, look, watch this. So this was another beautiful trend line that was drawn. So touch. So here was the beginning of that reversal point, and it was going all the way up. So even on the monthly time frame, I can still see bullish momentum playing out based on my CCI indicator, right? So my CCI indicator still tells me that yes, there is bullish momentum that is playing out on this. So let's go back to the weekly time frame, right? Let me show you all that. So this psychological level is only respected. And of course, this counter trend line saw that this main trend line was broken through. So this is what we're going to be expecting. Let me go down to the daily time frame now so that it makes more sense. So I'm expecting prices to actually move into this zone, right? Into any part of this trend line. And of course, from that trend line, I'm expecting that this psychological level hopefully will be broken. But of course, it's going back to test that same psychological level. So what are you going to do to have money this week, right? So this is what I'm expecting. It's one out of 2 things, yeah? Is either it comes into this zone, right? Is either it comes into this zone here where it currently is, then consolidate, right? Let me show you how it's going to do that, right? It's going to consolidate around this zone until it gets to this trend line before it begins to push up, or it breaks this minor support area, comes to this trend line, and then from that trend line begins to bounce off and then move up. But obviously, we're expecting that this week and the coming weeks to come, that Euro USD is going to break the psychological level and begin to go up. So how would you trade this? Finally, how would you trade this? How would you trade this? Right? Look for confirmations around these zones where I have price movement currently. All right. Look for confirmation around 1.0835, 1.08235. All right. If you find confirmation on the 4-hourly time frame or on the daily time frame around that psychological level, you may want to buy. But this confirmation is actually not a good confirmation, right? So I'll be expecting market to still continue to drop back into this zone, right? But hopefully, if you find confirmation around here, all right, then go on for a buy. But of course, if you don't find confirmation around here, allow prices to come back to retest this trend line, all right? And then look for your entry around, look for a good buy entry around 1.07325, or still around that 1.08235 that I earlier mentioned. But of course, allow it to come to this trend line, because it has tested this trend line here once, tested it again the second time. All right, it's definitely going to come back to test it the third time, and then that would be that's where we're going to find the bigger momentum that is going to have Euro USD break that psychological level at around 1.11526. Now, the same is likely to happen on GBP USD, right? So on GBP USD, let me still take it up to the higher time frame so that you also better understand where we're coming from. Can you see this on the GBP USD? I still have bullish momentum display out on the monthly time frame. So let's scale down to the weekly time frame, right? On the weekly time frame, GBP USD is also having a similar kind of movement on as Euro USD, right? So we have this trend line that was drawn, first touch here, second touch around here, and then of course, okay, let's say first touch here, right? Second touch here, and then this is the third touch, and then prices fell. So the fourth time, prices broke. You see that it closed above and then came back below. So what is he trying to do? Let's go down to the daily time frame, right? So what I am expecting, of course, on the daily time frame, I can still see bearish momentum playing out, right? So what I'm expecting is that this week, prices will still move down on GBP USD, all right? Touch this trend line that has been tested once and twice, all right? Give it a third touch, and of course, from that level, I will be expecting the massive bullish movement. So for me to have a very safe trade for this week for GBP USD, I'm going to be waiting, all right, for when prices come into somewhere around this level, right? Somewhere around this level, 1.23043, 1.23043, all right? Around that level, I find a good confluence or a good confirmation for a buy, and I'm going to shoot all the way up. How many have I given to you? 2, right? All right, so let me ask you, before I give you the other remaining 4, have you subscribed to this YouTube channel, right? If you've not done that, let me give you the count of 5. Just do that. This next 4 I want to show you will make you good money, all right? Just like these 2 I have shown you. So, okay, have you done that? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Thank you. I know you've done that. You subscribe to this YouTube channel. But as well, as much as you subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get notified, right? Every time I put out something like this. So that's GBP USD. The next one is USD JPY. Already I mapped out my zones on USD JPY, and I'm very optimistic, right? So the dollar is strong, right? Even today, right? The dollar is pretty kind of strong, right? Even if it's consolidating around the range, but it's pretty kind of strong, right? So of course, we're going to be expecting a bullish movement on USD JPY because it's the dollar that is the base currency. True. Now let's look at these on the weekly time frame. But this buy is going to be short-lived. I don't know why I have that feeling, right? It's going to actually be short-lived, right? So this is the level I'm looking at, 137.739. All right. I'm looking at what the market will be doing at that level. I'm not so sure, but I know that on the long time frame, right, where USD JPY is going is all the way down, all the way down. That's where this guy is going. You can see bearish momentum even on the monthly time frame, right? But then even on the weekly time frame, let's see what happens there. Even on the weekly time frame, we're seeing a little bullish retracement. This is only but a retracement, right? Because of course, after taking flight after taking a fall from the 151.388 level, right? This particular level where it is trading is a psychological level, right? I don't really have time. I would have shown you that psychological level very properly. But of course, my little trend line here can explain that, right? We have the first touch, second touch, and of course, it's trying to obey all that. So what I'm expecting that is going to happen on USD JPY is prices moving up because dollar is strong and to this zone. Around this zone at 137.739, I'll be looking at how the market will be reacting to that zone because that zone has actually acted as a resistance on multiple occasions, right? So I'm going to be finding confluence on that zone and I'll be eating a sell on USD JPY. But then, as much as I am looking out for that zone, I am not fixing my mind that it must be a sell at that zone. If I see prices break above that zone, of course, I'm going to find the next high level where prices is going to come into. And of course, the next high level I can see prices will most likely come into is somewhere around here because this is another psychological level as well. You can see here was break, support, 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 and break, retest, right? So it simply means that 142.119 is another psychological level we don't need to play with. 142.119. So if I don't find that confluence around 137.739, I may be looking out for the market coming into 142.119. And then I find that level around there to take a sell. But this is what I'm going to be doing, right? So that you don't have to wait too long before you take this trade. What I'm going to be doing is this. If the market break above 137.739, then I know it's heading for this. I'll be expecting some form of little retest on this zone, and I'll ride it all the way to 142.119, okay? And then from that zone, I'll be looking at what the market will do, and then I'll ride it all the way down, right? The original trend is down, but of course, if it breaks here, then I will be expecting something like this, a retest, and of course, after that retest, I'll be expecting the market coming to this zone here, where I'll be looking out for my sell opportunity. That makes sense, right? So look out for those two zones, 137.739 and 142.119. That is on USD JPY this week. So much money to be made, right? Another one that is paired with the USD I want to give you is the AUD USD. Remember, the dollar is strong right now. So, of course, in cases where it is cold currencies, we're going to be experiencing some form of bearish movement, right? And of course, look at this on the weekly time frame. This is looking pretty much like what we've seen on Euro USD and GBP USD. It has happened in past, but it's now currently happening on AUD USD, right? So this is the counter trend line that we're experiencing, right? This is the counter trend line that we're expected on AUD USD. The market has tested once, twice, and this is the third time, right? So if this is having a bullish retracement, all right, it's obvious that it's coming back into this trend line, right? This particular trend line, all right? For those of you that know me very well, if you go back to my 2 months weekly market analysis or 3 months weekly market analysis, I kept shouting Euro USD is going to this trend line. GBP USD particularly, I told you was going to that trend line. A lot of you that didn't believe me didn't make money, right? So if you believe me as well, you're going to be making money on this, right? So we're going to see more consolidations around this zone, right? You can already see consolidations has been happening here for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks there, 3 weeks or 1 month thereabout, right? Consolidations have been happening here, all right? So what I'm expecting is the market will continue to do more consolidations, all right? Move here and back up and down and back up until it comes properly into this counter trend line before it's going to take a flight. All right, so around this same zone here is where I will be looking out for confirmations for a buy. All right, around this same zone here, you can see this support area that I've mapped out. Break, support, support, support. I'm still expecting more consolidations around that zone until it comes to this trend line, and then it's going to have a flight. And this is the bigger picture where it is coming into. That bigger picture is somewhere around 0.71923, 0.71923, but that's not going to eat this week. It's in the coming weeks. But for this week, expect a little more consolidations, up and down movement. And then, of course, but then if it comes quickly into this trend line, then find support around this level as well, then take a buy. That's for AUD USD. Then guys, we're getting matured in the business right now. So this is gold. You know, I don't give gold analysis all the time. Whenever I give gold analysis, I'm pretty sure. So for all of you that were saying that, oh, gold was selling, gold was selling, and I kept shouting, gold is going to 2073. Trust me, guys. I've been saying this for almost like 4 or 5 months. I've been saying that, right? That gold was going to 2073. I saw that in my analysis and I kept shouting. If you doubt me, go back to 2 months weekly market analysis. It's on this YouTube channel. Go and watch it. And I kept shouting, gold is going back to 2072 or 2073. It's around that zone. Personally, I will be looking out for a sell opportunity, right? And then, of course, last week, week before last, gold actually showed us what it was capable of doing, right? And then it got to 2075, right? Yeah, that's it. 2070, 2080. 2080 was where gold actually got into and then sharply rejected. So what am I expecting for this week? I'm expecting more sell, but before the sell, there's a bullish retracement. All right. I was seeing these previous lines, and of course, I was just like, okay. So on the weekly time frame, we already have confirmation of this sell. Remember, this is a potential trading area, a confirmation that this the buyers are no longer interested in pushing prices further above in the market. You can see that here, and then prices will begin to drop. But then scale down to the daily time frame so that I'll tell you where you can actually eat this market and eat it big, right? So on the daily time frame, yeah, we still have bearish momentum display out on the daily time frame. But then on the 4-hourly time frame, we've actually got confirmation for a buy, right? It simply means that this market is most likely going to have a bullish retracement and back below, right? So, of course, even if it's going to have a bullish retracement, these are the levels to watch out for, right? So let me use my price level to actually pull that, right? It might come back to 2024 or consolidate around this area, 2020, 2024. And then from that level, we get a bearish confirmation and it goes down. But if it doesn't, if it breaks above that level, then let's see it come into 2049, okay? 2049, around that level, let's find confirmation. And of course, this is going all the way down. So the bullish retracement we're expecting 2024.54 or 2049 axis. And then from these levels, we get confirmation on the 4-hourly time frame, because now there's confirmation on weekly time frame, confirmation on daily time frame. So the only place we need confirmation to have a sniper entry to gold analysis is on the 4-hourly time frame, because of course there is bullish momentum on the 4-hourly time frame. So we need to see the bulls give up their strength and say they are no longer interested in continuing to push prices above, and then the bears will jump into the market. That's the confirmation we need, and we're going all the way down. Don't miss this trade for anything. This is going to fetch you good money, right? And then GBP JPY as well, right? So for GBP JPY, already we mapped out this zone. Let me show you on the monthly time frame. You're going to better appreciate that, right? So this is it on the monthly time frame. I saw a first touch, I saw a second touch. This is a third touch, and of course, you know the third touch is always very severe, right? So yeah, the third touch is always the one confirming the trend. So if this touch holds, guys, if this touch holds, then it simply means that we are going to be seeing GBP JPY sell off massively, right? So first it came back to this same trend line, and then we're expecting that, okay, buyers will say they're no longer interested in pushing prices above, but we're yet to see that confirmation on the monthly time frame. But we already see that on the weekly time frame, right? Oh, yeah, so sorry, it hasn't actually said so on the weekly time frame as well. So on the weekly time frame, we are yet to also see buyers give off their strength in continuing to push prices above on the weekly time frame. So most likely, we're going to see this bullish retracement come back into this trend line properly, right? So I can't tell you. Let me see if I can give you the price level for that. Let me see, right? So GBP JPY, let's expect a bullish movement into around 172.074. 172.074, right? Around that level, we find that confluence we're looking for, and this is going all the way down. All right, so let's look at it on the daily time frame. So I tell you what to do, right? If you see on the daily time frame, all right, there is bearish momentum confirmation, but of course, it seems like it is being greatly influenced by what is happening on the 4-hourly time frame. So this is a 4-hourly time frame, and of course, we can see that bullish push, and then that bullish push is still widely in play, right? So let's expect where we are going to have a bearish confirmation on GBP JPY 4-hourly time frame, and then we go in for a short. But of course, don't forget 172 axis is where we're expecting prices to come into, especially somewhere around this level. Oh, sorry about that. Especially somewhere around this level, 172.209 is where we're expecting prices to hopefully come into. That is, if it breaks this zone here at 170.957, 170.5, 170. All right, let me put it. 171.035. If it breaks above that level, the next level to look out for is 172.225. But within these two levels, 171 and 172, right? Let's find a confirmation for a sell, and you're not going to regret it. It's going to fetch you money. Lastly, I want to quickly talk about US oil. I'm already on this trade, and I'm already running in over 100 pips currently on this trade. And I also want you to make good money on this trade, right? So for US oil, we saw how US oil nicely rejected again on this particular level here. Let me show you. On this particular level at $64 per barrel, right? It rejected very sharply, right? And then, of course, after rejecting, we see that on the low, on the daily time frame, right? We see that rejection, and of course, we see a bullish confirmation on the daily time frame. Then, of course, we saw a little bearish movement again to at least 50% of this rejection, right? And then prices continue to move further above. So let's look at it on the 4-hourly time frame. On the 4-hourly time frame already, we've got a bullish confirmation, right, for a buy. So I'm currently buying US oil at the moment, right? I'm currently buying US oil at the moment. So where I'm expecting US oil to actually come into is, let's say, somewhere around here. Let me put a price label. I'm expecting US oil to come into $73 per barrel. It's currently trading around $70 per barrel. I'm expecting to come to $73 per barrel before I can tell you what next on US oil. For now, I'm expecting a bullish push to bring US oil to $73 per barrel, right? That's a whole lot of movement, right? Let's see how many people movement that is already from where currently the market is, right? That's about 378 or 79 people movement to the upside. And then before we can expect a bearish movement, bro. For now, I'm expecting a little push to the upside. So I'm taking advantage of that push, right? And then maybe we can also talk about the next move in the live market analysis that is happening tomorrow, right? So if you want to be part of the live market analysis that is happening tomorrow, look in the description below, join our Telegram channel, or visit our website at www.eqmarketsglobal. Contact, give a call to the number that you can find there, or sign up an account. Somebody's going to actually contact you and give you the special link to be in our live market sessions where we milk the market and make the most of it in the market. So these are the opportunities that I want to share with you guys. Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY, AUD USD, gold, GBP JPY, and as well US oil. That's 7. I said 6. I gave you 7. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See you again next week for our weekly market outlook. I hope this was really interesting. If it was interesting, please leave a comment for me in the comment section, and also give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to share with your friends of the amazing content in this video. And don't forget to also like and leave me a comment in the comment section. I'll be really glad to read them and reply them. Thank you so much. My name remains 𝗟𝗜𝗞𝗘. See you.